It may cause drowsiness.
I may sound crazy, no, I may sound crazy. Hey girl, it's time to lay it down, don't bite. Just have shrimp and wine, don't catch the itis. I can make some noise, make the storm sound quiet. In my mind, like peaches, nerve, reunited. I can give you massages, this is the way you like it. More than acknowledge, this is the way you like it. Telling me, baby, you doing it just the way I like it. Go ahead, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe and like it. I'm getting too excited, no telling the way it goes. Lady, you turning me on, just laying there with pretty toes. You got me spitting crazy flows while you listening to music. What's up, TMH Radio? Digital, I don't wonder what ratio, exchange of ratio. I'm old school loving you, that's just the way it goes. Got a copy with that call and talk to Fabio, you made me. So now I gotta get a lady's opinion, I'm calling K Street. Sometimes I ain't really feeling everything to say. But that's okay, cause I can reach out to Joy Renee. And now it's Joy Renee to play. Now I ain't got shit to say. Here you come with Eldro. He's always the most calm fellow. Sensible and fair-minded. Eldre, bring love together. Yes, you gotta be willing and able to be mature, presentable at the grown folks' table. Call if you want to talk more. 614-781-0754.
Yeah. Y'all know what time it is.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear? Can you?
I'm not hearing anything.
I don't know. You tell me, Ron.
All right. Welcome to it. Can I hear her?
Oh my God! You want me to pop her all the way up so we can't even hear?
Just for a second. Just for a
all right.
tiny second.
All right. That's it. And that's all I'll do now.
Welcome to the Grown Folks Table, y'all, right here on WTMHradio.com. I don't feel like getting started without Harris in the background. It's just, look, it's the only way to set the show up right. Please, females, You know, in your t-shirt and panties. Preferably, you know what? I don't know y'all might hear some prefer y'all wear probably one of those.
Yeah, I don't mind wearing them. I don't mind that at all. I'm gonna pod this down just a little bit. That's fine now. Yeah, because I would like for them to hear the actual conversation.
You know, they prefer, you know, to put on one of our t-shirts. All right, so ladies, get in your t-shirt and panties, and it's officially time to put the kids to bed. And it's grown folks time.
Yes.
Grown folks music, grown folks conversation.
Always.
How you doing,
on
kid?
Tuesdays. I'm all right. It's Tuesday. I'm up. Like I was like tired. Like, okay, can I do this?
I think the weather got us never so like alert right now.
Yeah, the weather is kind of tricky in Ohio right now. Yeah. So y'all just pray for us. This city, I don't know, Ohio go through so many up and downs.
We got people from New York checking us out right now. They're like, shut up. We don't want to hear nothing
about probably
the weather
so.
being bad. And
Philly got the banger part of it.
When you win a Super Bowl, weather don't count for you. Nothing bad,
time out.
Nothing bad counts.
Time out. Time out. Don't be disrespectful.
Every day is sunny right now. I don't want to hear that. Every day is a sunny day right now.
Yeah, we national champs.
Shout out to everybody in New York right now. Y'all be safe. Y'all definitely be safe. You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm all right.
How was your weekend?
Oh man, weekend was I was. Yo, so if y'all didn't get to participate this weekend, I was a part of Sneaker Freaks in Ohio at the Ohio State Fairgrounds. So I was at the Ohio State Fairgrounds, and yo, it was lit. Like it was so many people there, shoe vendors. We had Cleveland, Cincinnati, Akron, Chicago. We had a lot of people in the building.
How was your shoe game? Your knowledge of shoes is like what? First of all, big shout out to Ohio Media School.
I just like shoes that make me look good.
Big shout out to Ohio Media School. Anybody in the Columbus area, if you have interest in getting in media as far as TV and radio, please check us out. 5330 East Main Street, Ohio Media School. Yeah. So like it was pretty dope. Everything that I saw, like some of the shoes, I was like, kind of iffy, but it was like a flea market for shoes, basically. And so, like you could tell, some of the shoes have been worn. That's what I was thinking about, like Sneaker Freaks. Like, I don't care how fly they are. I really don't want to like sneakers that.
Yeah, but there was some vendors out there who was bringing brand new stuff off the shelf. Like I purchased this offline. I ain't even sold these yet, and you could tell the new versus the worn. You know what I mean? And those are probably the ones that have stores that just bought a couple of their product out. You know what I'm saying, to sell basically. And then we had shout out to Fake Education. Yo, dude was in there giving them the real, like, so Fake Education, this dude, you can check him out on YouTube, you can check him out on Twitter, and he also has Facebook, but he basically is like the authenticator of shoes. So he will tell you if they real or fake. So if you got on a fake pair of Jordans, he's definitely gonna let you know, like, dog. What are those?
Did he give you any tips to take away?
Basically, for like authenticity would be like basically design, paint, distributor, basically. Because I guess they come packaged with like so many amount of numbers and stuff like that. So
what numbers are we looking for? Is it
he didn't really go into detail with me with all of that because it was like certain stuff he can't really say.
Anyone give you no secrets?
Yeah. Well, secrets, or he just couldn't say it basically. But so yeah, he said he don't only do sneakers, but he does jewelry, he does anything. So it was pretty dope. And like if you go on my Facebook page, you can see. I was like kind of standing at the table recording him as he was checking out people's sneaks. We can go on K Streets or my personal page, but I'm gonna tag it to K Streets because I don't want nobody being affiliated with my personal page.
Why you just saying keep it with just you? You didn't have to go no further. You just said K Streets and that was in the
because I think the page that is on is on my personal page.
And
so.
This is and we I don't know why we just so left behind, but we will have a Grown Folks Table Facebook page up at least by tomorrow. We want to take some pictures and make sure everything is correct. So we will have our own show page up in a minute, everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody's been checking us out for a few weeks, so we just want to make sure.
We've been up and running for a whole year. We should have been had one, but I mean, like, there's a lot of stuff.
I got text messages of me sending you.
Shut up.
So let's not. I wasn't gonna go there. So
shut up.
Let's not.
It's a we thing, not a me thing.
Yeah, go.
Anyway, how was your weekend?
Weekend was all right. I went to what they call a science Olympiad. I went there with my daughter, her and her school, ACPA. Big shout out to ACPA High School here in Columbus, Ohio. They were participating in the Science Olympiad. And I'm not that smart.
You're not that smart. You found out that you wasn't that smart.
Yes. When you're around kids like that and they're making robots out of mouse traps and racing cars with rubber bands and things like that. These kids are very smart, and it wasn't the contraptions and the things that was what they was making that made me realize how smart these kids were. It was the times when they wasn't participating in these events and they was just talking and conversating with each other, and it was just like hearing like. It
would be like us talking about radio and stuff like that, and people don't understand what radio is.
It's like two college people just talking, and it's like, you don't know why that works? Oh, yeah, of course I know how that works. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking in my head, yeah, it didn't work because it didn't work. No, the reason it's a Tie 94 connect to that's not, penetrating through the jet air in here. It's not 45 degrees angle throughout the cohort. And I was like, what? They're so smart. Yeah. And so they had to make planes out of plastic sticks, and you can make the propellers, spin as fast as you can if you put, a tight string around it and spin it real tight. So you can make the propeller go fast, which is going to make it stay in the air. I really think they're not going to stay in there that long. Maybe a little while, but they're not going to be able to stay in there that long. This kid had his plane in the air for about 4 minutes. About to go down, go way back up, and it was just amazing how smart these kids were. So I had an amazing.
Science is a fun thing.
Yeah, science is a very fun thing. Again, big shout out to ACPA High School for participating in the Science Olympiad. That was a good thing. That was a good thing. And before we go into some news, then we're going to come back because K-Street's got something she really, really want to talk about that's real important to her. I want her to come back off this next break and really set it off with that.
Yes.
So yesterday, men, right now I'm about to talk about respect and respect to each other and how we should respect each other. Yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was going to go get something to eat. Going to go get some chicken, right? Coming out the chicken place, I was about to get the car. Before I got in the car, a man said to me, "Can you close my door?" Sure, no problem. He must be the door to his ride. Asked me to do him a favor, close his door.
Right.
Then he asked me about my shoes. He said, "Are those Aldos?" The shoes I work. So he said, "Are those Aldos?" And I said, "Yes, sir, they are." And when I said yes, sir, to him, he looked back at me. Now, I can tell this man probably, if he was older than me, probably wasn't no more than about maybe 3 or 4 years, but not that much older than me. Mm-hmm. And if he was younger than me, probably about that much, or we was probably the same age.
Right.
But the way he looked back at me when I called him sir was so weird. Like he grilled me in the face, like thought I was being sarcastic, to a point where I realized that we're not giving each other enough respect to us for it to come around common. Right. It seems so common that you wouldn't get a grill like that when you say something. When another man talks to another man with respect, you won't get that type of response. Mm-hmm. If we start doing it more common. And you can tell on his face it just wasn't used to it and things like that. So
did you say something to him?
No, it was just no. His face said enough. But I knew what it was, and he probably thought I was being with the yes sir. He probably thought I was really being sarcastic when I was just being. I don't know you. I know you're a man in front of me, and as I know of right now, I should give you the respect that I should want to. So yes sir. Then that was the end of it. But it was just the way he looked me in my face, like trying to be a smart ass or something like that. That wasn't it at all.
Right.
Just that's how I was raised. It is a way a man can demand respect. The only way you can do that is you have to give it first. And all I was doing was giving that man the respect that he rightly deserved at this very point. Mm-hmm. But I realized that it's not common enough, because if it was common, he would have knew that that's all that is, and that's the end of that. So men, let's start with respecting each other to the point that it becomes common. That when we say certain things like yes sir, and we respecting a man and things like that, that it comes on as common enough that we won't grill each other after. That is just, we know what that is. And
right.
That sets the tone for what type of person that you are dealing with at that time.
Right.
So let's get into some grown folks music when we come back. Grown folks table right here on WTMXradio.com. Call in, be part of the show, 614-781.
It's 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm just getting in. I'm not gonna go down the bush. Sweet love says, she opened up the door and let me in. Never do she once say so. Where have you been? She said, are you hungry, honey? Yes. Let me hang up your coat. And the woman tells me, pass me your pack too. All the time she smiles, never lays it in front. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. This ain't love and game. It's a feeling. It's a sweetest woman in the world. The neatest woman in the world. You make love that way. You keep on running, she keeps being quiet. She might be holding something inside. Here I am laying in the hospital. Bandage from feet to head. She up in a state shot, baby. Just that much from being dead. Yeah. I didn't think my woman could do something like this to me. I didn't think she has a nerve. So here I am. I guess I just use my word. It's a feeling. It's a sweetest woman in the world. And the sweetest woman in the world. You keep on her, she keeps being fine. She might be wanting something inside that could really catch you one day. You say on the same. It's a deal of between love. It's a deal. It's a deal. You know it. So show me it's a deal. It's a real life. You know it. So, I ain't gonna never close your mind. I don't never do you no wrong. I said I won't come on, you never be good for me. Never step in the way. I'm always coming in there. I'm there. Maybe I should call her. I wonder if she answers your number the same. Yeah. Do you ever think about us? I know we should have kids and you sharing my shame. What a shame. I lay awake at night, tossing and turning, babe. It seems like my mind just plays tricks on me. Oh, my heart wants peace with my mind. I swear it's tug of war. My boss won't let me be. But what if I told you I changed? Would you want me back? Would you take me back? Hey baby, what if I told you I changed? Would you love me back? Would you take me back? Hey, I'm coming of age. Oh, I'm coming of age. Hey baby, I'm coming of age. Oh, I'm coming of age. Baby, I've changed. Darling, I've changed. Yeah. If you were a flower, you'd be a rose, and you survive in the heat of snow. Baby, I broke you, I know. Give us water, we'll grow. I still believe in us. I still believe in love. We gotta let the sun in. Baby girl, I'm coming on the edge. Baby, don't turn the page. I know you wake at night, tossing and turning, babe. It seems like my mind just plays tricks on me. My heart wants peace with my mind. I swear it's time to grow. My God won't let me be. Oh, what if I told you I changed? Would you take me back? Would you want me back? Hey babe, what if I told you I changed? Would you love me back? Would you want me back? Hey baby, I'm coming of age. Oh, I'm coming of age. Oh, I'm coming of age. Oh, I'm coming of age. Hey baby, what if I changed?
Yeah. That's Sammy coming of age. Yo, so Sammy is doing big things with this album, and if you have not purchased his coming of age album, you definitely should. Spotify, you can download it. You know, it's a good album, you know, for from watching him grow as a kid to a young teenager.
A very candid album.
A man.
Very, very candid album. You gotta appreciate a man that with being honesty.
Yeah.
I think through his art, through his outlet, he was being very honest. So yeah, big shout out to Sammy, and it's always also cool to watch people grow.
It's definitely cool to watch the little ones grow up. And then, I don't know, in my era, I guess we didn't have enough of watching people grow up. Like, I was like the in-between era. I had Immature, I had Crisscross, I had, they were all teenagers, basically. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like I had somebody that I could grow up with. And then you had, like I said, then you had Sammy that came out. Then you had J5. Then you had
from Columbus, Ohio, just to see today. Not today. When was it? Just this weekend? Didn't Bow Wow just get punched in the face this weekend?
We don't even care about Bow Wow here in Columbus. I don't even understand why you even brought his name up. I'm not
from here, so they always tell me that's why you don't understand LJ. Why you don't understand the hate between Columbus and Bow Wow. But if I keep hearing that the city that I love don't like me, why would I be influenced to come back to doing it?
He should not be influenced to come back. He should just stay away. You've been repping Atlanta for your whole entire career, so rep Atlanta.
WTMH has been up since, I believe, about 6 or 7 years now. And I'm probably guaranteed arguing this whole Bow Wow, the love for him in Columbus for a long time now.
I think it's more so you can't really. No, you don't think Columbus is wrong because you don't know. We would definitely stand behind him if he was one of those artists like I could say.
Seen him like Columbus, not either.
You never not seen. But what have you seen him done?
Or say where he's from. I've been to a backpack myself personally. WTMH has been to a backpack that he has given away school supplies. So
when?
Now, about 3 years ago, I'm admit that maybe.
About 3 years ago, and then before then.
No more, but what I'm saying is,
exactly.
And how his response and the love he doesn't get from Columbus has always been like he's like. I don't know what
I know people that went to school with him that were very close to him. I don't want nothing from him, but I feel like any other artist, like I see the Lil Waynes and all that other stuff. When I say like people really giving back to the communities when disasters happen, when when stuff goes on, they're pouring their heart and their love and even their income into their cities. You know what I mean? Not saying that
hurricane hasn't hit us.
I'm not saying that it has to be like a natural disaster for him to do something, but I'm saying like, come on, these kids don't have nothing to do. You were a kid in Columbus at one point in time. Build a recreation center. You know what I'm saying? Build another one. Give these.
You grew up here for a long time, went to school here.
Yeah.
Somehow, miraculously, God bless you. 20 million hit your account tomorrow morning. You still live on your same block and do the same thing.
I'm gonna do, yeah.
You're gonna get better, right?
I'm definitely get better. Of course, you're supposed to do that.
I'm better, ain't you?
Yeah.
So
that's supposed to happen, though. But at the end of the day, it's called giving back to your community. Like give back. Like what do we do for our communities? You know what I'm saying? To help to give the kids something to look forward to. It's giving back.
I've been to an event where the man was giving away school
3 years ago.
And the hate has always been ever since he made it. And everybody thinks he's supposed to be this like giving son. First of all,
no. Because when he first came out, I had hope for him, and then as he started to grow a little bit, and then I started to pay attention and follow, I was like, well, wait a minute, like you're doing a whole lot of rep in Atlanta, but your fans. Of course, he say I'm Prince of the O-Town. First of all, let's clear that out the way.
I do live in Atlanta, okay. But I never heard an interview where he doesn't say where he's from, where he has some Buckeye power on or something like that, or doing something, whether I was there, or hearing something that he has done here in Columbus, Ohio, or just friends and family. Yo, this may be harsh, right? And people got to realize this. When you make it, right, it's you take care of your friends and family and the community that you know. I'm pretty sure the whole Columbus wasn't good then when he wasn't around, when he was here, right? So let's not act like he's supposed to be like the giving son to Columbus now.
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying
too harsh on him. Me personally. I mean, we expect it when we go by things like that in New York. Take care of your family. Maybe do a little extra in the school where you went to, maybe your community, your block. But other than that, do you have to take care of the whole New York? No, you don't. No.
We're not saying take care of the whole Columbus. Maybe your block, yes, I understand that. But for us, it's like, okay, yeah, you do whatever you did 3 years ago, but really, like, the ins and out of who really heard about it, you know what I'm saying, are all in the know for community members or people around Columbus just to surround and support you to see that part. You get what I'm saying?
As a community member, you know, as a person, before we go on, as a community member of Columbus, Ohio, what would you like him to do?
First of all, I would like to just, you don't even got to do nothing for the adults. Screw the adults. I'm just saying, like, you were a kid once. At least give to the kids. Give them something like Bill. I don't know. I would do something like something in the arts that has to do with arts. You know what I mean? You have a musical background.
Maybe come to Ohio Media School, talk about some shit, right?
No. For what?
You said no. That was a plug for us. Did you just say no?
I said
yes. Come to Ohio Media School, 5330 East Main Street, and talk to the students.
And then all them grown men and women want to look at him like he's a joke.
And let's go on, because I can go on with this all day. Y'all get me mad with this. Columbus really do. I can't stand when I get into that little debate about how y'all don't love Bow Wow. I think y'all deserve the deserving. I think he should.
No, I'm not saying he deserved everything that he got because he did that. You know what I mean? But my thing is this: like, if it was me and I had a lot of money,
little things like that. You know, you're not from here, you don't know.
Yeah, just shut up because you don't know.
You ain't never ate a Buckeye. You don't know. Have you ate a Buckeye?
Yes, all the time.
No, I haven't. Yeah, let's go.
Even a homemade Buckeye? Like,
I haven't made nothing.
Oh my God! You can't even, because you're not even a Buckeye, so we're not even gonna go there.
But I will be soon. We just got some good news. Get them getting our good news. After this debate right here, I will officially be from Columbus, Ohio, and I would be a Buckeye.
All right, so a little bit, do you guys know, me and LJ have the honor of being host or...
Not host. David, we're presenting.
We're presenting.
Presenting the award.
Well, isn't that awesome?
Not a host.
Not hosting, but presenting May 5th, which is a Saturday, the Read Promo USA Entertainment Awards 2018. Hosted by I Am Blizz and Tanisha Snookhouse.
So first of all, me and K Streets want to say thanks to everybody.
Yeah,
Rich Smith and the whole staff of We Promo for looking out for us. We are very honored to be there. Look, to me, I don't know how everybody else is doing it. I think I'm taking it like it's the Grammys. I told you it was like, we gotta get it all started. Our outfits gotta get tight. We gotta work on some cars. Maybe some type of car to get us in. I'm taking this like the Grammys. I don't know how everybody else in Columbus is taking it, but how me and you, when we go to this We Promo award ceremony, man, and we present our award and we go straight out, I'm thinking we presenting at the Grammys.
Yo, and listen,
I'm looking forward. I can't wait.
I can't wait either, and it's May because my birthday's in May. So what better year to present in May? You know, to start the month off right and present awards to people who deserve it. So if you want to be a part of this, all you have to do is get your tickets. You have to contact this number, 800-859-9438. That's 800-859-9438. And I believe the tickets are $15. Pre-sale admission tickets are $15. Kids 5 and up are $8. And then you can go on Facebook.com, We Promo USA, or /WePromoUSA@gmail.com for more of that information. But this show is at 988 East Long Street, Columbus, Ohio, and it starts at 5 p.m. There will be a red carpet event. Yeah, there will be a red. So now I'm thinking, like, do I wear red for the red carpet, or do I wear?
We're not going to talk about it.
Okay, we're not going to talk about it. My hair gotta be smooth and my makeup gotta be nice.
Yeah, but I never been on a red carpet.
You never been on a red carpet?
I'm going to,
we gotta get LJ together.
Down this red carpet. The people behind me is going to be like, something is wrong with you. It's going to take me about 20 minutes to get to the door.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk so slow.
You're crazy.
And I don't know how many photographers and people out there that be taking pictures, but I'm gonna make sure each one at least get like 10 apiece.
Correct.
Because I'm just gonna stay there.
Right. So shout out to Rich for the invite. Shout out to We Promo USA.
Can't wait.
Very honored. We're gonna be blasting this all over the media for the next month until we can't blast it no more. So I appreciate the love.
Rich earlier. So, and we are gonna have them on the show that Tuesday before the show. So we're gonna have them in here on the Grown Folks Table. We're gonna talk about the events, the whole award ceremony. We're gonna talk about We Promo and everything that Rich and everybody over there got going on.
Right.
So just looking forward to that.
And if don't nobody know Rich, link up Rich. He's real well known guy around the city, and he does things. He definitely gets it. It gets things popping around the city.
I like that. I like people like that don't just sit there and talk out there and going after. I like people like that.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna get into like a little bit of news that I kind of wanted to turn in. I don't know if I want to make it a topic or not, but we're gonna get into this 2-bit news. So the first news, condolences to the kids in Maryland. There was another school shooting in Maryland today.
I'm just getting so
I'm sick of it.
Every Tuesday, it seems like before we start the show,
it's
we
a
condolences to the school.
Yeah.
This is getting ridiculous.
And the bad part about it is, and this is what I wanted to talk about last week, but unfortunately we didn't have the show last week because Mr. Eldre was sick. So I'm glad he's better, and I'm glad.
Talking about business for? Just to do
because you have fans.
I am doing the red card.
So now that he is better, I was reading this article about this guy, a young man, 18 years old, was trying to sue Dick's Sporting Goods because they wouldn't allow him to buy a gun, basically. So what Dick's did is they pulled a lot of their artillery weapons off of the shelves, and they did big shout out to Dick's, and they also set their legal limit to purchase a weapon to 21 instead of 18.
Okay.
And so the 18-year-old, and they sent letters out to every store around the world. And the reason why they did it was because they wanted, since the government didn't want to take a stand, corporate said, we're going to take a stand and we're going to pull these guns off the shelves and we're going to raise the legal limit to 21 for age appropriate to be able to buy guns. Now, I got instantly mad when I read about this young man trying to sue Dick's Sporting Goods because he felt like I'm legal age to buy a gun. I should be able to purchase a gun. And kudos to Dick's. You know what I mean? For
I can't help it. I'm sorry. I'm immature like
I can't. So you are very immature, and it shows a lot.
And that's the last time I'm mature. I try.
I can't even give him another name because.
I heard a straight face, and I heard you say 20 dicks. And I held it to about the 21st dick. Come on, I'm gonna do
Dick's pretty good. I don't even feel comfortable saying it, but I have to say it. So, because you're just immature as hell.
That's the name of the story.
So it is. So anyway, kudos to them. Don't worry about it.
I'm sorry, y'all.
Okay. All right. So kudos to them because I just feel at the end of the day, like they were saying, if the government's not going to do nothing to stand by and put a stop to this mess, whether it be metal detectors at the schools, should teachers carry guns? Hell no. I think that just promotes more violence. If they're not going to do nothing to put a stop to the gun laws, gun violence, anything that has to do with anybody being able to possess a gun, then Dick's did what they were supposed to do by raising their legal age limit to 21.
You're right. Step forward. I'm not about to sit up here and go crazy and mission accomplished America. No, still got a lot of work to do. Still got, some just went down just this afternoon, right?
Yeah.
So we still got a whole lot of work to do. Let's give our shout out to Dick's for doing that. But I think the next step now, along with Dick's making 21 Let's hope all the other gun places do that. But now let's also put some type of psychology background check on it. Let's take it a step.
Yeah. It's got to be mental evaluations done, all kind of stuff.
And stay close to your guns and don't fall.
Right. Absolutely. Now we're gonna get into my little next tidbit. So I don't know if you heard. Okay, so the story that happened in Cleveland about a young man who lost his daughter. I think Anaya. I can't pronounce the name, but his name was Malik. And apparently, the mother of the daughter's mom and the boyfriend severely, basically beat this little girl, and the little girl ended up passing. In sweet little words, she ended up passing. And this happened a few weeks ago. Now, the father had been trying to get custody of this little girl for some time. And I'm going to talk about the way the system fails when it comes to should certain parents have their kids. You know what I mean? Because apparently this young man had been trying to get his daughter for quite some time. He had been noticing her having bruises, trying to go back and forth to court. The court wouldn't let him have the little girl. Even the daycare center said the little girl would come to school bruised up, black eyes, all kinds of stuff. I mean, there was a lot of paperwork on this child being abused, and yet whatever their children's services is called down there, I'm not really for sure what it's called, still gave the little girl to her mother. You know what I mean? Now, the father, he put out an emergency, I can't think of the word, but anyway, he went to court to try to file emergency custody of the little girl. He hadn't seen his daughter in a while, basically, and come to find out the mother moved, so he had no contact. You know what I mean? So he felt that he needed to get his daughter. Something was wrong. Just
the X.
Hit it. I'm sorry. So anywho, this little girl ended up dying. So basically, they have a 911 call. Basically, and the operator is basically like, asking the mother all kind of questions, and she's telling the operator, we went out to Red Lobster the night before, and she wasn't feeling too good, and so basically this particular day, she's saying that the baby wasn't feeling good. She had been laying down, but I guess she went to go check on her. The little girl, appeared to be pale in the face. So the operator was like, well, is she breathing? So at first she was like, I don't know, like nonchalantly, like, I don't know. So then she put her finger under her nose or whatever she was saying. And she's like, okay, well, I don't feel no air coming from her mouth or her nose. So she was like, so wait a minute, she's not breathing? And no, she's like, no, she's not breathing. So it was like, this call was made at like 3:24, and then at like 3:37, the ambulance shows up, and they take the little girl. Basically, they already saying that this little girl's dead. Basically, you know what I'm saying? They get the little girl to the hospital, and about like 3:40 something, they pronounce the little girl dead. But the coroner and them are saying basically this was not an accident. This was murder because at the end of the day, this little girl had been dead for some hours. I'm not really for sure. I just read bits and pieces of it. But the thing that I want to talk about is what bothers me is spiteful women. If I don't know why you take your anger out on the babies, you know what I'm saying? Whether you can't be with the baby dad, whatever that he left you for whatever reason. And Cleveland, for some reason, y'all women are known for doing stuff to y'all's kids, and it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? I despise people who do stuff to kids, because I had a nephew who passed away, of similar nature. You know what I mean? And all that person got was 5 years. And so that was never justice enough for me. You know what I mean? So now when I see all these stories about people doing stuff to kids, it makes me want to go down to wherever prison they're at and just beat the living daylights out of them, because at the end of the day, kids don't ask to be here. I felt like if she really couldn't take care of that baby the way she wanted to take care of the baby, she'll let that baby be with the dad. But for whatever spiteful reason, due to them breaking up, whatever the case may be, she chose to take it out on the baby, which wasn't right. And so you see the dude in the courtroom, he's real hurt. The dad is in the courtroom really hurt. The guy, like, kind of like turned, like, as he's walking away, you know, they're getting their bail bonding or whatever, you know, the $1 million bond or whatever. And he's walking away, walking back to go back to the back where they take him and hold him until they go back to the jail or whatever. And he kind of smirk, you know, looks at the dude, and dude's like, you know, don't look at me. Don't look at me. You killed my daughter. Like, you don't look at me.
Yeah.
Basically.
I watched the video, and as a father of 3, and as a father of a person that's not able to see his daughter on an everyday basis, I did feel it. I did feel his pain.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
That that my daughter's mother in New York is a very good mother, and I just couldn't see her even letting somebody do something like this to our daughter. So,
and it wasn't even just like seeing somebody. It was both part of the mother and the boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Just the other day, I watched a Facebook, one of those Facebook videos where a dude knocked his baby mom's boyfriend out cold, and then turn around and start piecing the baby mom up because he got word that the dude was abusing his daughter.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
First of all, condolence to everybody in the family who
condolences.
Anaya and her family. I'm not going to talk about the evil of the baby, of the mother and the boyfriend. God's going to take care of it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I'm not going to talk about the evil of what they was doing and what's going to come to them. Let's go piggyback off what you said as far as the system.
The system, yes, that failed.
Our police system, our
protective services,
our doctors,
the courts,
who said, these are what these bruises show. This is what this means. And somebody, like, she should have never, ever went back to this house. And this is what everybody is saying. You get what I'm saying? Everybody it should be hard for a little, of everybody that went through this, to ever examine this little girl to go to sleep right now. Because everything was happening the right way. She did report it. The little girl did report it to the school. The school did take the proper steps and report it to the next people. And our system failed this little girl.
Yes, absolutely, they failed, which makes me even more mad because they would be so quick to take a kid who's innocently nothing being done wrong to this, but they would just come in, investigate, and do all. But when it's a real, like, something urgent, something of necessity, something that needs to be done, and you are just sitting on your high horse doing nothing, just letting the paperwork sit there. You know what I'm saying? All the time that had went past, this little girl could have been with her father. And it is so many, like, I point the blame at so many people, like the girl's mother. Where was her grandparents at? Like, I know y'all know there's some things. I know, like, why didn't y'all take the baby? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I can't even blame, like, if the dad didn't know where to find it. You know what I'm saying? That's no fault of his. But, like, on the mother end, like, if my mom and them saw me acting that way, so they hurry up and snatch my daughter. Like, are you crazy? No, you go get some help. It's sickening.
It's some evilness going on in the world right now.
It's a lot of evil.
I can't even go on, understand right now. You know, some people say we need to. It's not like it was back in the day. No, it's not. Meaning that it has to be some type of adjustment somewhere along the line. Because it's some evilness that's going on in the world today that's involving youngsters.
Yes.
Like, let's figure us grown folks. We can get over some stuff. But there's a lot of evilness going along right now that's involving youngsters. I think it's a problem.
A lot of that has to do with not having nobody to really talk to, as far as, like, being bullied, you know, and being insecure, you know, not saying on this little girl's part, because she's just an innocent baby. She has nothing to do.
Actually, usually when you're in that situation, little kids are shy.
Yeah.
Actually, this little girl was telling me.
Yeah.
Mommy did this.
But she told me to tell you guys that I failed. Like,
so, you know,
like that would have been a red flag.
Yeah, not a red flag. That ain't no red flag. That's it. That's a confession. That's an actual confession.
I'm saying to the people that she's telling to, like a red flag, like, okay, something's going on, because why would she say that mommy did this to her and then turn around and say, well, my mommy told me to tell y'all I fell. You get what I'm saying?
But she's saying this, so this is actual. She doesn't even understand what she said. But she didn't. I don't think she realized that she was confessing. Like,
right?
That yo, mommy did this. You know, but she told me to tell y'all I fell.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But us as grown folks are supposed to let us know that that's a confession.
Yeah.
And again, the system failed. We need things that was not handled properly, and something has to be done.
So do you think in this case that he has a right to sue the county? Like, I feel like he needs to take measures to his...
Everywhere that paperwork, whatever desk that paperwork crossed,
everybody need to be held accountable.
Not only sue, jail time.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever Anaya worked, ever since she reported that she was being abused, whatever that paperwork across, whoever desk that happened in, all those people, not only that company should be sued, those people should go to jail, period.
What do you think that needs to happen to these mothers who take their anger out on? Because I feel like, you know, being a witness to stuff that happen like that, and witnessing like a person getting 5 years taking an innocent life just because you might not have a background, you know what I'm saying, to fall upon a, you know, like, I didn't understand that part. Like, to me, murder is murder, whether it be a grown adult, a teenager, or a kid. Murder is murder.
Something that you might not realize because you are a female, but when it comes to court, right, in the fighting of a child, or just when kids are involved, period, y'all have an upper hand. For some reason, we're not looked at as equal when the judge should be looked at. Equal parties, let me see what's right for the child. Doesn't go like that. For some reason, y'all get the upper hand, and let me see if she messes up, and then we'll look from there. It doesn't go like that when men walk into the courtroom. We're looked at, you have to prove yourself. When women walk into the courtroom, you have to prove that
you're not negligent. You
right,
take care of the baby.
Right. When we go in the courtroom, we're already judged. So that's what happened here. They didn't realize that this when this girl was in the courtroom and they trying to do all this, that woman had the upper hand already. When if they was thinking about what's right for the child, this wasn't even that type of hard of a decision.
It wasn't at all.
That this child, that what's best for this child is for us to be with the dad, and let's figure out visitation and whatever have you after that. But what the court system has to do is get back to look at both parties as equal and do what's right for the child.
Yes, exactly.
And stop letting the women have the upper hand, and you just can't do that.
Right, because now we're seeing in the world today that you can't even trust the baby with the mother anymore, and it's just so sad. And it just broke my heart, because I was like, wow, the mother, the protector, the caregiver, the provider, the everything that these kids that we as mothers, you know, are supposed to be to them, because that's all they know at the end of the day. And you took that away. Like, you took all of that away. You couldn't even, like, I just couldn't. I couldn't. I cannot.
I know, just hearing,
I cannot.
That man cried.
It brought me to tears, because I was just like, I know, like, even though it didn't happen to me, it happened to my sister. I knew that feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt that.
Knowing of doing everything right.
Yes.
Doing everything the right way.
And you
not going over there and just taking his child, and really trying to do it the right way and go through the court system, and the system still failed.
Yeah, the system failed tremendously. And I feel like it's a lot of stuff that needs to be done as far as our laws and bylaws and all that stuff, and how the courts do things, you know what I'm saying, they need to start changing, because obviously what used to work is no longer working.
Right. And that's what we just got to start realizing. And that's with life, period, today.
Yeah.
What used to, and it was hard for me to get this. I'm one of those people that you know, I think I was one of those old people that, you know, one of those old folks, get off my lawn. We need to go back to doing things the way we used to. You know what? What these kids go through today is not what we go through. The bullying, what we went through, was something about our clothes.
Right.
Wearing the fresh clothes. It's a new level now.
Yeah.
So we do have to adjust. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to get into our commercial break. When we come back, we're going to get into our topic. Once a cheater, always a cheater. Call in. I want to know what you think about that. 614-781-0754. It's a grown folks state, New York.
Tonight, girl, above us all the stars are watching. There's no place I'd rather be in this world. Your eyes are where I'm lost in. Underneath the chandelier, we're dancing all alone. There's no reason to hide what we're feeling inside right now. So baby, let's just turn down the lights and close the door. You are the just but you won't need it anymore. You won't need it no more. Let's just kiss till we're naked, baby. Beside you on the floor. Take it off for me now, girl. Beside you on the floor. Take it off for me now, girl. Unzip the bag while I kiss your neck and shoulders. Don't be afraid to show it all. I'll be right here ready to hold you. Girl, you know you're perfect from your head down to your heels. Don't be confused by my smile, 'cause I ain't never been more for real, for real. So just turn down the lights and close the door. You are the just but you won't need it anymore. You won't need it no more. Let's just kiss till we're naked, babe. Beside you on the floor. Take it off for me now, girl. Beside you on the floor. Take it off for me now, girl. Yes. It's warming up, can you feel it? It's warming up, can you feel it? It's warming up, can you feel it, baby? Oh, seems like you're ready for more. Let's just kiss till we're naked. Oh, Versace on the floor. Hey, baby, take it off for me now, girl. Versace on the floor. Oh, take it off for me now, girl. Versace on the floor. I just wanna get your attention. Thank you. I really wanna be all up in your head. Yeah, cause what I got you gonna get to. Yeah, but girl, that's only if you ain't scared. Baby, I know not, only know that. You just put that bottom up in your head. I'll get you hot. I know you want so well. And when I walk in, all that I want is you say, Daddy's home. Ooh, for me. And I know you've been waiting for this loving all day. You know your daddy's home. And time is yeah, but you ain't got to give my love away. Sooner they say, hey, Shawty. Sooner they say, hey, Shawty. I ain't gotta do a lot of flexing. Shawty, you already know what it is. Well, tonight we're gonna do a lot of sex time. Yeah, ain't nobody do your body like this. Oh, I won't knock, won't ring no bells. You just broke that out of my face. Yeah. That I'll get you hot. I know you will somewhere. And when I'm walking on that line, oh, it should say Daddy's home. Home for me. I know you've been waiting for this loving all day. Daddy's home. It's time to play. You ain't got to keep my loving away. Yeah. Sooner they say, hey, Daddy know what you like. Oh, Daddy know what you like. Hey, Pick it up now, pick it up right there. I'ma fall back like you work that chair. You get a thing at the neighbors hear. Pick it up now, pick it up right there. I'ma fall back, let you work that chair. You get a thing, all I wanna hear is you say, Daddy's home. Oh, home for me. And I know you'll be waiting. Your daddy's home. It's time to play. Now, baby, you ain't gotta give my love in no way. Daddy's home. Ooh, for me. And I know you've been waiting for this loving all day. You know your daddy's home. It's time to play. But you ain't got to give my love away. Sooner they say, hey.
Usher always puts me in the mood. I love Usher. Little old Usher. You know what?
Go ahead. Go on, folks. There we are. WTMixradio.com. Please call in number 614-781-0754. Or you can check the show out. We're streaming live right now. Go to YouTube /WTMHradio.com. Check the show out, streaming live right now. I don't know what happened, but to the screen, I don't know who's doing our graphic design, but we got a little new.
I know a little fire back there.
Fire.
Little hot
going on with
fire and ice,
going on with our WTMH logo. So
that's super dope.
That is nice. So big shout out to George and everybody here at WTMHradio.com. So call up at 614.
I thought something was wrong with the screen at first. I was like, but that's cool.
Fire. We're burning them up. All the internet stations in the world, we're the best. We're burning them up.
All right. Bobby's burning.
So, let's get to our topic tonight.
Yes.
Let's talk about it. And you know, K-Street, you want to see a lot of your input on this.
Okay. You sure you want my input?
First of all, how I started talking about this subject was I was hearing two ladies talk, and they was giving each other relationship advice, and she was like, "Yeah, one that cheater, oh, he's a cheater, girl. Once you go once, girl, he gonna do it again, girl. You know how y'all do it, along with y'all necks twisting and y'all fingers snapping,
right?"
I was like, I just don't think that is true. So I just wanted to come in and talk about that.
Why do you not feel?
So I put it up. And we got a few responses, so I'm going to read a couple off, and then me and you going to It's so first of all, big shout out to Nakia Beckles for checking us out.
Hey, shout out Nakia.
And she said, no, that's just false. She thinks that's false. Once a cheater is always a cheater. She thinks that's false. My man Brian Parker chimed in. He said, we run marathons, what he's saying. People change, but take long walks off short bridges. With this thing, people are never satisfied, you know?
Right.
So, once a cheater, always a cheater. What you think?
I don't think cheating can be redeemed. Just depends on the person. You know your spouse better than anybody knows your spouse because you live with that person. So at the end of the day, you know the type of person you're dealing with when you get with that person. You get what I'm saying? So I do feel like when a person cheats, it's typically because it's something that in the relationship that the need didn't get met, basically. They went out looking for outside sources. Mainly for women, that's why I'm saying the need didn't get met. But for men, it's a little different. They, you know, there's no personal attachment there. They're just if they want to go out and do it, they're just gonna do it. But at the end of the day, it's like, you know, I wasn't doing it just because I didn't love you. Like I got love for you, but at the end of the day, like I'm a man, I'm gonna get you. You get what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? So, but I do think it can be redeemed. But it just for on a women's standpoint is the hurt behind it that doesn't allow us to let it go. You get what I'm saying? So with that being said, if a person cheats on me and I choose to forgive that person in a sense, when I am forgiving you, then I have to let that part of that hurt go. Don't mean I'm gonna forget. I ain't never gonna forget. But I do have to let it go in order to be able to move on. So installing that, we have to build that trust back up. And it's not going to be easy. It takes time. And there are certain things that men do that might trigger little points that will bring about those insecurities. The reason why women will say things like, once a cheater, always a cheater. Mm-hmm. So in order to like basically make her not feel like you would go out and do that, there are things you have to do to kind of change those things that will spark that insecurity in her. You got to change them. Mm-hmm. So to answer your question, I do think that, you know, I don't agree with once a cheater, always a cheater. You can change. It just depends, and then again, it depends on the person you're with too.
Once a cheater, always a cheater. No, I don't believe that. I think that's false. But I do also believe every individual person, every situation, everything is different. Like you said earlier, only you know that person that you with. Mm-hmm. Not the family and none of that. Just right. Only you got to understand the situation that you are in and what's going on. Nobody else can tell you what's going on. And usually the outside has a lot of influence on it.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, no, it's not true, because everybody can grow up. Everybody at one point was in a situation that, you know, that they wasn't, they just don't know. Just don't know, not sure, and they do some stupid stuff. I heard some men say that I made a mistake. I'm not going to sit up there and call them mistakes because
you knew what you were doing.
I won't sit up here and do that. But you do no, I'm all right. You do have to realize every situation and everybody is a little different, and everybody can like you said, everybody can right their wrongs. Mm-hmm. Everybody can right their wrongs. Do you want that person to? Are you willing? No, you can say, somebody can say, of course I would want to, but it takes a lot.
Yeah, it does take a lot.
It takes a lot for somebody to.
It takes a lot on both parties, because at the end of the day, you have to have that want and that drive to be able to understand that it's going to be a process.
But it's hard on the person that got cheated on.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's be honest. It is a lot harder for the person that got cheated on, and you have to understand that. So it's going to be times where you're just going to be like, I just don't know what's going on. You ain't go through what that person has gone through. So, of course, you don't understand. But if you really care it's going to take some patience on your part. It's going to take some patience on your part. It's going to take some patience on your part. Patience is waiting things out, hearing your partner out. Let them vent if that's what they want to do. If they want to be quiet, let them be quiet. Whatever they want to do to get them through, let them get through. And you have to let them. You have to let them do that.
Now, let me ask you this. Is this just like a one-time cheating deal, or is it like a reoccurring event? Like, you just know your dude's a cheater. He just cheats.
I'm happy that you brought that question up. It goes back to the individual person, your relationship. Only you know your man's traits, good, bad, flaws. You know if you know your dude or you know your girl long enough, you can probably finish off her sentences, or you can probably finish off his sentences. So you only them two people can answer that. You get what I'm saying? Because there's some people out there that like, one time on me, it's a wrap, and there's other people out there that said they took their girl back 4 times. There's girls out there that said they took their dudes back 5 and 10 times. It goes up that individual people and that individual couple and what they're going to do. I can't tell you how many times, what number you should give somebody. I can't do that. I don't know y'all situation. I don't know what's going on. So I don't think I can, you can do that.
So in the sense of saying that, like when you say, okay, I'll take you back 4 or 5 times, I'll take you back to, then the saying would make sense once you're cheated as a cheater, because it's inevitable that you're just going to cheat because you've done it so many times. You get what I'm saying? Even though that you think, like, you have hope that person can change, at the end of the day, because they've done it so many times, you start to lose hope that person is never going to change. So why even stick around? Why be with that person? Like, if they're going to cheat, let me just go ahead and do my thing, and you do your thing, and then maybe, like, when you get with somebody that's real serious and this stuff starts happening to you, then you can understand the end of where I'm at right now, because it's not working at the end of the day. Instead of me just taking you back, like, why would I keep putting myself through that? Why I put myself through heartache and pain and misery and hoping and wishing and having faith in you and putting faith in you and all this other stuff, just to keep you having to go through the same reoccurring events, even though it may not happen, like, say the person may have cheated like 4 or 5 times, but it was like a year he was good, maybe 2 years he was good, and then it happened again. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't, it doesn't make you feel like you can have faith in a man like that when you just like, okay, maybe he was good for a while, and then it just something died. Even for women, men, but this is a vice versa type of situation. So it can happen on both ends. At the end of the day, you might have a good man who woman cheats, and then you have, it's just crazy.
I want to take a time out to apologize to all women who are stupid. Part of the species of men who are stupid. Just plain and simple. I know a lot of my male friends probably listen to me right now, like, yo. But we'll make a little bit more smarter decisions if it wasn't so stupid. So just, with that being said, I can't say what the number a woman should do and how long and when you think your man is going to change. I can't do that. You know him. Only you know him. For me to come in and say or try to give my what I think, I just can't do that, because I'm not the person that has to live with him or her for the rest of my life. Right. You know your man. You know her. You know him. If you like, I want to give this person another try, that's on you. If you don't, that's on you. But I cannot do that. I can't do that. No, I can't do that.
So I mean, okay, so if a woman does it on your end, it's not forgivable. And this is
that's
that bias, double standard.
And I know it ain't fair. Listen to me before I get to this.
Okay.
I know it's selfish for me to say this. I know it's not fair for what I'm about to say. So do you understand? because I don't want people to just jump down my throat. I know this is selfish for what I'm about to say, and I know this is not fair from what I'm about to say.
Right.
Men, we take it different. We take it different because we think it should be a little bit harder to get to in between your legs. Again, you said you started to show out the topic off a little bit earlier, and you said, men has this thing where they can, sleep with somebody or something, and just no emotion is involved. They have that. I believe women have that to an extent, but I believe it is somewhere. When I don't care what nobody says. For y'all to open your legs, you might not be dead in love with the person, but I believe it's a tiny connection. Something. It should be for you to open your legs to somebody. And again, you hear what I said? I said first that I know this is not fair and I know this is selfish. That's why I think it's just a little bit different. It's just a little bit different. And us men, we take that cheating part of it just a little bit harsher than y'all. And some dudes is like, yo, one time, that's it. One time, that's it. That you can't, I'm not able to go. I'm not able to do that. I'm not able to get through that. Again, and it comes to, some ways y'all a lot stronger than us.
There's a lot. We're built that way. But at the end of the day, it's like if you can't stay out the heat, if you can't stand the heat, stay out of the kitchen type of ordeal. You get what I'm saying? So like, if it's treat me as you want to be treated. If you don't want me to do these things to you, don't do them to me at the end of the day. And that's just how I feel. Like, if you don't want me to be that way, if you don't want me to be that girl, if you don't want this and this to happen, then don't do it to me. Because see me, I am that person. I'm that person that will be like, what you do to me will be done to you. You know what I mean? And that's just how I always been, I guess I should say. You know what I mean? Because I feel like I have to get back.
Now, check this out. You're not paying attention to your demeanor now, as you had just said that. Now, let's say we around a function or something. Somebody's playing cards, right? Mm-hmm. And the guy's looking at you, and he's interested right there. Do you know what he's thinking already? That you have. Well, everybody's right now already on the get-go is on some won't be me. Mm-hmm. You just can't. There's no way for things to work like that. Your demeanor and your whole tone right now is just you just can't. Again, to me, it should be a little bit harder to get between a female's legs than to just be on some payback shit. And again, I know it's not fair, and I know it's like real selfish.
Yeah, it's not. It's really not, and it is selfish because at the end of the day, like I say, if you don't want it done to you, then you can't go around. You just cannot go around dishing it out if you don't want it done to you.
True.
It is women out here that do gotta get back. Like, I'm gonna get you back, however, by any means necessary.
Yeah, I like the Jay-Z song. You just don't get a man back like that. I'm not saying there's no get back. Listen to me. I'm not saying that there's no get back. Don't do something. Don't do something to hurt him as much as he hurt you. Just me personally. Listen, you don't get a man back like that. You don't get a man back like that.
You don't get a man back like that. Then what do? Okay, so you don't get a man back like that. So I have to, number one, I have to forgive and let it go, and let it be, and move on, and pray to God that you don't do it again.
Your point was to do that was to want because you wanted to hurt you and feel the same way.
No, I'm not saying like first of all, let me rewind that a little bit. I'm not saying it as in the sense that I just gotta go out and be sleeping with other people.
No, women do that because they're trying to give that man back the hurt that he gave to her, right?
Right, but there's other ways of going about her. Okay, let me just say this. Women who've been with a man that they know their man, they know their weaknesses at the end of the day. And then weaknesses don't always have to mean sex. True. You get what I'm saying? So if you know your man weaknesses, then you know how to get them back.
Right.
At the end of the day. So that's what I mean by that. Mm-hmm. It doesn't necessarily mean sex. You get what I'm saying? And so that's what I'm getting at with that part. Now, if it is sex, then hey, by all means, do what you gotta do. I ain't got no parts of that.
Mm-hmm.
Just make sure you protect yourself. But at the end of the day, you know, if you know your spouse well enough, then you know what the weakness is. At the end, and that's the gut puncher part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like he absolutely, you know, told me that this, you know, if I such and such, but in order for me to get through to him, then I'm gonna have to poke and pry at that a little bit for him to see how bad it hurts. So he knows that how bad what he's doing is really hurting me.
That may work, K-Streets.
I know it works.
That may work. Or another option, he just wakes up on his own and realizes, I don't want to lose this. Because that is an option too, right?
I mean, absolutely, it's an option.
Absolutely, right?
Absolutely, it's an option.
So
but if that person's not learning, then how you get him to wake up to feel like that?
Again, he realizes that what he is about to lose isn't worth it. And stupid. Remember, I said men, you know, that we're stupid.
Yeah, absolutely. And dick, sporting goods.
So that was on you. That 23 was on you. I think you just wanted to say that. In this topic, in our conversation, why you had to just fly off of that? Maybe you shooting for a sponsorship for us, which we'd gladly take.
I didn't want to say that. I didn't want to say that
you
word.
Want to see sporting goods. You just wanted to say, you know what? I got no reason why I want to say this. Dicks.
No, that's what y'all are.
But hey, listen. And it takes a little bit. And knowing that, right? And knowing that it may take a while for men to realize, you know what? Wake up, grow up. Wake up, grow up. You know, you about to lose something. You about to lose something, and it's time for you to wake up and grow up. But once a cheater, always a cheater. I don't believe in that.
No, I don't believe in it neither. I believe that people can be redeemed of cheating, but it's just gonna take that right person. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, like it's really gonna take a certain person to make a person wise up and be like, this is not gonna happen. And I feel like in most cases, when a person is cheating, it's really because there's something in a relationship that a need is not being met. Meaning, whether that person wasn't going to cheat or was going to cheat, they probably weren't meant to be together in the first place.
What's the ultimate? Because it's probably a few on a woman's list. What's the number one? Like, you know what? What's the number one reason why women cheat? Because me and you were talking about men.
Security.
Me and you were talking about men, mm-hmm. and you don't really need a damn reason for a man to do it. A man can do it one overhanging night and just be like, oh shit. But women, what's a reason why you think
security could be a reason?
That's the number one reason you think that she's not secure within herself.
Not secure within herself, but security as far as the security that she needs from her man. Mm-hmm. And I'm not talking about finances. I'm talking about the security all the way around the board when it comes to the household, when it comes to her needs, when it comes to the romance part of it. You know what I'm saying? To have that confidence in, you know, the man gives her that confidence that, like, you know, I got a good dude, you know what I'm saying? But if she doesn't feel like she has a good dude, of course she's going to be skeptical of the relationship. She's going to start questioning it.
Stroking egos.
Yeah, something like whatever you said, stroking egos. Mm-hmm. So you know, and then this is what I always tell myself, like, when I feel like I have to start questioning.
I do understand that we like our ego stroke too, right?
Of course.
And it's not a gift. A lot of men, when I see a lot of men today, who like, you know, we kings. You can call your man king too. You know, women out there, not K-Streets and all that. Women out there, not only call him that, just treat him as such. You know, and stroke his ego. Let him know that. Oh, just come out flat out. You're number one. And sometimes be like, I do. No, say it out your mouth. Mm-hmm. Don't do things because he do understand those gestures that's what you mean, that, you know, this is you know, that you really love your man, right?
Right.
But it's also okay out your mouth to say it verbally to your man. And also men and women, you know, you're the prettiest. Your outfit is good. You're the smartest. Nobody outthinks you. Nobody's smarter than you. Whatever you're doing right now, I think it's the best idea in the world. I'm totally behind it. Things like that.
Right.
Stroke each other's ego.
Right, and that goes a long way too. But then that's also how you keep like your romance and stuff going at the same time. But I lost my train of thought because you went into that stroking egos and stuff. I was not, absolutely not.
What was you got?
Oh Jesus! What was I about to say?
You were talking about, you know, just
my gosh,
how both parties have to make sure that they're stroking each other's ego. And
but basically, both on both ends, on both parties, like for women, like I said, it was the security thing. That's where I was at.
Yeah.
The security thing. You asked what the number one thing was. I'm not saying that's the number one thing. That could be partial of the reason. And I wasn't saying security, like I said, as finances. I was just saying security as secure as in with your home, secure as in like we was talking, just stroking the ego or whatever the case may be. Like a woman has to know that she is wanted. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. Men want to know that they're wanted too. But more so because women are so emotional and that we're nurturers.
How would you, the best way men, not, you know, your man or anything like that, would you think if you had a suggestion to tell men, this is the way you should do it?
To make a woman feel wanted?
Mm-hmm.
You know, first of all, you got to do something that ain't never really been done before. And I know, like, you know, it's a think out of the box type of thing. There's nothing that I can tell you, you know, that will probably be any different. I could say go get flowers, take her on a nice date, romance her, you know, buy her a nice outfit. Like, there's nothing I can really say. You know, it's a. Do you think that this woman that you have right now in your life is, because when I think of relationships, especially when I get into one, I'm thinking of it for the longevity, not just to have somebody. You get what I'm saying? Because I can have anybody I want at the end of the day. When I'm looking for a life partner, there's certain things that come with that. You know what I mean? And so my criteria, my standards are a little higher than just the want to have somebody. You know what I mean? And so when I say you gotta, you know, make your woman feel wanted, you know, sometimes it's not even about like spending time with her, being up under her, because I'm the type of person, I'm not really clingy, but there's other things that I like for my man to do for me that just makes me feel like, hey, I know this dude wants me. You know what I mean? He's not looking for anybody else, and it could be such as simple as texting me, you know what I'm saying, sweet nothings, you know what I mean? It's just certain things that I like that might not, that be like, okay, well, that's nothing, but to me it's something. You get what I'm saying? So, and you can even ask your woman, you know what I'm saying? And especially for the beginner people that in a relationship that are just getting to know, if you ask in the beginning, then you'll never have to worry about anything because you already know what you should be doing, and then continue to do that throughout the entire relationship. Don't fall back on it. Don't stop doing it. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Because when you stop doing it, then we start feeling a certain type of way, like, well, you used to do this, you used to do that. You know what I'm saying? You don't do that no more. What changed? Now we start thinking like, okay, something's changed. So it could be a possibility that whatever is going on in his mental, he's not telling me about it, but I'm looking at it through his actions. Something's changed. You get what I'm saying? And that's where we start to lose that sense of that want and that security or whatever the case may be, because we notice the things that start to change, the things that you don't do that you did in the beginning to get her. You get what I'm saying? So when you get with somebody, you got whatever you did to get them, you got to continue to do that. And we know that in relationships stuff changes, but the little stuff that was petty, that, you know, seemed like, oh, this is so, you know, it was normal and it was regular, you know, but at the end of the day, to you, like I said, it meant something. It didn't have to go. You didn't have to go above and beyond to try to be the next best boyfriend or nothing like that. It was just normal everyday routine, something that you did to woo her over. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Those are the things that you got to continue to do throughout the relationship to continue wooing her, because you have to impress every day, because there's always another man out there ready to impress. That's just a competition with y'all men out here.
No.
If somebody's ready to impress, when you start slacking, it's somebody ready to pick up the slack.
You don't get a man back like that. Remember I just said that?
I get that. I get that. But I'm just saying, but it's vice versa for men too.
We had, Ladybug, she always checking us out. So
shout out to Ladybug.
She sent us a little bit, I don't know if it was a Bible quote or something. She was talking about how she rebukes it and how, people not being satisfied and things like that. Do you think it comes down to being, do you understand what she's saying?
If it's a sexual matter, then and it's a thing of not being satisfied, then yes, I can see why she would say that. But if it's a try to,
did she say sexual? No, but
I'm just saying. I'm saying if it is. Now another, if it's satisfaction as far as knowing what you want and you're not getting that, absolutely, absolutely. Because all women should know what they want from a man when they enter a relationship, what they want out of a man, what they expect out of a man. And those are those standards that I was just talking about when we set those standards. But it's only for if you're looking for somebody that is for the longevity of things. It's just not for somebody that you're just going to be with just to be with. It's not, that part is not for everybody to have. You know what I'm saying? That is supposed to be for the person that you feel you're going to be with for the long haul.
So right now, what we are saying right now, especially on grown folks table, is cheater, once a cheater, always a cheater. Not true. Everybody has to grow up, and everybody does at their own time. Everybody individual relationship, it's not the same as everybody else's, particular relationship. Worry about yours. What's going on and what's going on in your relationship, and you two try to do it as best as you can.
Right, exactly. That's exactly right. You got to work on it as best as you can, because if this is the person that you're going to be with, and especially for the people that are forgiving, if you're going to choose to forgive, you got to let it go. You got to absolutely let it go, because holding on to it doesn't hurt the person that you forgive. It only hurts yourself.
And the person on the other end of that, you can't give nobody a timetable when they should let it go.
Yeah. You absolutely not, because
you can't do that.
It takes time.
Right. So you can't do that. As frustrating as it may get at times, you're gonna have to work together, and don't put a time limit on it, and just let that person work it out, and you let the other person work it out as best that they can.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. But work it out together, though. And that's where that one and I,
alone. That person's gonna need some alone time.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That person's gonna need some alone time to think and things like that. Let them have it. You may not understand it. Let them have it. And so, y'all don't know right now, Columbus, Ohio. Right now, the weather is kind of crazy out right now. So me and K Streets, before we hurt ourselves, we're gonna get out of here. We want to say thank you, y'all, for joining us tonight.
Yes,
we will be back next Tuesday. Grown Folks Table. WTMHradio.com. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us tonight.
Thank you, and y'all have a good evening. Drive safely if you're out there on the roads.
What's up, cousin? Love you. Thank you. See you soon.